Hi, and welcome to the very, very first Find Your 30 webcast. This is a new initiative, obviously aligned with the Find Your 30 challenge, and it's really all about helping everyone to do that really important thing of finding 30 minutes of activity a day. And as we say, find your 30, but do it your way. And there's lots of ways of finding your 30 minutes of activity. But before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to all my co-hosts. First of all, James Robertella from the City of Wyndham. How are you today?
Brilliant, Barry. Great to be on a different webcast with you and chatting about what it means to be active, how you can achieve it. And we're fortunate enough to have the gurus of health and fitness at WynActive join us as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of gurus, first of all, ladies before gents, Kelly Ferretti, how are you today?
I'm really good, Barry. Thank you so much for having me back. Really, really happy to be here.
And of course, Kelly, you're really into the group fitness and know it very well as being all over health and fitness, of course.
Try to be as best as I can. No, we've got a great team. We're doing a really great job. So, yeah, it's going well. So far, so good.
Fantastic. And the second of our gurus, Lachlan McDowell, or Lockie. Great to have you on board, Lockie, again. And of course, you've also been on the WynActive webcast.
Thanks, Barry. James, yeah, good to be back, round two. So hopefully, it goes along smoothly.
And Lockie, look, you're very much a gym person, a fitness coach, a PT instructor, as well as you do the odd group fitness class. But you're here to talk mostly about those gym type activities.
Correct, yeah, gym, personal training, fitness at home stuff, exactly right.
Super. So we're going to do these weekly. We're going to have a lot of fun, talk about things. And as I said earlier, this is about helping all of us, us included, find our 30 minutes of activity a day. So, all right, we're supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. How are you finding your 30 minutes a day? And perhaps I'll start off with you, James. What are you doing every day to find your 30 minutes?
Look, I'm an early riser, as they say, and enjoy getting my activity done before work. So I sort of set the alarm a bit earlier than is needed for some people, but get up. Fortunate enough, to be able to work out with my partner Louise at home in the lounge room. We've got lucky enough to have a few weights around, kettlebells and resistance bands. So I've just put together a bit of a program. Fortunate again to count on my background in health and wellness and put together a bit of a program focused on, so each day is a bit different. So I might have an upper body focused day, and then the following day might be a lower body focused day. Strength exercises, usually work on a superset, so one exercise directly followed by another before resting, and then I work on about 4 or 5 different supersets within the program, and it usually means that you can get it done a lot more efficiently as well. So yeah, very much focused on that strength stuff in the morning. I enjoy that, and then throughout the day I'll try and schedule in a walk. So we might touch on a bit later that it's not achievable to get the famous 10,000 steps a day, but again, if I'm reaching sort of 4,000 or 5,000 steps on top of my strength stuff in the morning, then I'm really happy to achieve that, and I'm looking to do that sort of 5 or 6 days a week.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to exploring those supersets with you in the coming weeks as we continue this discussion. Kelly, how about you? What are you doing to find your 30 every day?
Well, much like James, I get up very early without my alarm. Usually before 5 o'clock, my body wakes me up, believe it or not. But that is the best time of the day for me to exercise. And again, like James, I've got a lot of equipment at home. My lifeline has been my body bike. So most mornings I get on that, have a really awesome short sort of 30 minutes sweat session. And then later on in the afternoon, I try to do something as well if I, have the energy. But most times in the afternoon, I'm kind of going like this. I have just started getting back into the running / jogging / walking. I used to run a lot many years ago, and so I've just sort of set a goal of getting back to 5K, And for those runners, it probably doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, it's actually taking a lot to get back to that. Running is one of those things that if you don't do it consistently, you lose it really quickly. So getting back into it has been a struggle, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying a bit more of a challenge. Usually I'm in my lounge room doing my usual group fitness classes that I will teach in a classroom. So getting outside and doing something completely different has been really great for me. I've enjoyed it.
I think a really important point there is that, you've got to do what you want to do. And you said 5K might not be much for some runners, but there's a lot of people, and I absolutely include myself, I'd die if I did 5K run. So it is about just doing what you can do, isn't it, Kelly?
Yeah, it really honestly is. And I think that you hit the nail on the head. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep doing it. Once you find something you actually enjoy doing, whether it is walking, running, or, whatever it is, I think that's really the key to, doing something long term and creating a really good sort of lifestyle habit, I suppose. So I think that for everybody, regardless of whether you're an active person or not, finding something that you really thoroughly enjoy doing, that's not a chore, that I get up and go, oh, I'm looking forward to getting to my bike this morning. That's the key.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kelly. Lach, what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, look, I'd normally be like these guys on the early riser, but to be honest, the last couple of months, I'm not minding the sleep-ins. Bit of a later start to my exercise, so very similar to these guys. I'm lucky to have a bit of equipment at home. I've been loving the weight vest just to use some body weight exercise, and been loving that, just loading up and max reps and get a good pump on. So that's cool. Mix that up with a bit of shoot some hoops, go for a kick of the footy at the oval sort of thing, and actually get into a bit of yoga last few months as well. So sticking with that once a week. So a bit of variety, Baz. I'm liking just changing it up sort of day to day, and I get bored with one thing a bit too quickly. So just changing up the exercise, and like I said, just finding different ways to get moving. So
what I heard then, it's really important too, is just variety. If you want variety, some people love the same thing day in, day out, and that's great. But go for a kick of the footy, go and shoot some hoops with the basketball, go for a walk or skip or whatever you do. I loved it. So that's great. I can tell you. Sorry, James.
I was going to say, what about you? We're keen to know how you're finding your 30, Barry.
Oh, well, look, I mentioned recently on the WynActive webcast how my exercise bike had broken and was out of action. Yeah, I know. That's my staple. So I had to buy a new one. A little bit of a hiccup. The first one I got didn't quite work right, but I've now got it, and I'm because they're all different. A different feel, different resistance and things like this. And this one hasn't got as much resistance as the last one. So sort of working on learning new workouts for the exercise bike as well. So that's what I'm sort of focusing on. And next week I'll talk about the circuits that I do in conjunction with that. But right now it's all about the exercise bike. And
I'm curious to know what sort of bike you got though, Baz.
Yeah, look, it's not a well-known one from our facility point of view. They're a couple of $1,000, and I wasn't prepared to spend that much. So mine was about $700, and just from a local fitness shop. So I don't know, can't even remember what the name, the brand name is, to be honest.
Put him on the spot.
It doesn't matter as long as your legs turn around. That's the main thing, Barry.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So. Find Your 30 Challenge has started. What have we got coming up, guys? What's happening around Wyndham and WynActive?
Yeah, we're really excited to be able to launch another challenge, and safe to say it's going to be bigger and better than our past challenges in May and June. And yeah, we're really excited to be able to focus on a few different key areas that we've identified from our participants previously. And Lach might be able to elaborate on what those focuses are. But yeah, really keen to be able to offer people out there a free, fun way of getting ideas, content that they can follow on either live or on demand that really I guess, yeah, I guess focuses on what they love doing, and that's the main thing, is that there might be things that they can learn, but at the end of the day, do what you like, because that's really what's going to keep you active and achieving that 30 minutes a day.
Lach, do you want to talk about those particular aspects of the Find Your 30 challenge?
Yeah, for sure. So look, challenge starts next week. It's going to be a 4-week challenge all through August. So pretty keen to have a big 4-week challenge. And like James touched on, it's ideas, it's keeping you engaged the whole time, a bit of commitment and accountability for you to find those 5 days of 30 minutes of exercise. So what we've done this time, you mentioned bigger and better. We've also made it a bit more direct to the interest we found from last time's feedback. So there's 3 streams or interests you can pick from. We've got one that's fitness at home. So looking at your group fitness gym sessions at the comfort of your own home. So it's a mix of variety, a mix of intensity. So it's for everyone to enjoy. The second one we've got is active kids. And that's sort of your fun fitness and sports sessions for the family and the kids to get involved. It ranges from 3-year-olds right up to 18-year-olds. So it should be something for everyone, and we'll get something mixed up with sporting partners and a few different sessions. So watch your space on that one. And the third and final one is the walking and riding group. So pretty typical, go out for a walk or ride, but utilising the Wyndham parks and trails we've got. And again, it's for all ages and fitness levels. So really keen for to sort of, I guess, specific content for those streams. So you can think of some ideas to get moving.
And of course, people, if they go to the WynActive website, wynactive.com.au, can find out more information about that, Lach. Is that right?
Exactly right. Yeah, that's a place to register. Find Your 30 /WynActive. So that's the best way to find it.
Fantastic. And Kelly, you're the driver behind all the amazing videos and live classes that have gone up on the WynActive website. What have we got coming up in the coming week or so?
Yeah, it's been really great. The last few weeks, the team have basically just jumped straight back into providing our really great online classes. So we've done things a little differently for those that were involved last time around. We've tried to provide a little more, what would you call it? Stability. Oh, I've just lost the word. A little more structure to people's routine. So last time around, we sort of threw in a HIIT session here and there, a chair exercises here and there, and you never really knew what you were going to get from week to week, which is really hard when you're trying to create a routine for yourself. So this time around, we've structured it so that each week, you're going to get a HIIT session on a Tuesday, you're going to get an FX class on a Monday, a kids class on a Wednesday, and whatnot. So hopefully that helps people to, as I said, create a little bit more routine in their lifestyle. So we're going to see the regulars, always a HIIT session. Everyone loves to do a HIIT session, and that's really body weight focused. So that, if you don't have any equipment at home, it really is for everybody. But then on the flip side of that, there are people that do have equipment at home and want to be able to do a really great strength session. So we're going to have that every week as well. Always, we're going to have a yoga session, and that's going to be a little bit longer. So most of our classes, as you know, are 30 minutes, but that'll be 45, just to allow a little bit of meditation and mindfulness at the end of that session. There'll always be a Pilates mat work session in there. And we're always going to do something focused on the seniors and on our kids, obviously. So hopefully we're capturing everybody in our weekly timetable. So we'll always have our 9:30 live sessions, and then some of our afternoon sessions as well.
Oh, fantastic. And I know they're really popular, so well done, Kelly. James, from the rest of the Wyndham community, what else is out there that people can go to maintain their activity?
Yeah, there is a lot, and we're fortunate enough to be able to bring a few providers on board through this Find Your 30 challenge. So look out for that, especially within the kids space. So looking to feature a number of our clubs and associations providing those videos for kids to follow at home, or even to challenge their family and friends online, whether it be a little 30-second challenge here or there. But I suppose, if people are out there keen to have a look at some of the content already being developed by some providers, the Wyndham Basketball Association is definitely one to check out, and they've been featured quite heavily across a number of social media platforms. because of the great content that they produced early on in the initial restrictions. So I'd urge you to jump onto the Wyndham Basketball Association Facebook, or even jump onto their website, and you can pick and choose a video or a series of videos that might suit your level of basketball ability. So especially for the kids that might be starting out, there's some videos out there, or some videos out there that might challenge those that have a bit more skill or have access to a basketball at home. And I think Kelly and Lach touched on it before, Barry. A key focus of the Find Your 30 challenges coming up is we understand that everyone doesn't have equipment at home. So we want to provide them with ideas about how they can modify different activities and take a different look at getting active. And it's not all about the equipment, it's about themselves getting active. So yeah, I think it's watch this space, and we are really looking forward to featuring some of our associations, clubs, and major organisations that operate within Wyndham.
Oh, fantastic! And as you said already, just in that quick discussion, there's so much out there, and there will be more as the Find Your 30 challenges gets into full swing, for sure. But I think something that people get inspired by is a success story. And at WynActive, we're fortunate to see lots of them. But I'll throw to Kelly or Lach, one of you guys. Have you got a good success story for us to talk about today?
Yeah, look, I'll jump in. I've got one from our awesome staff member, Nathan Tart. He's a fitness coach and personal trainer. He's been there from the start. And it's really awesome. He set himself a goal with walking 10,000 steps a day. And he's clicked over 100 days straight of hitting over 10,000 steps. So I can imagine he's going through a few podcasts in his time walking, but I don't know how his feet are, but he said he's nailed 100 days straight of the 10,000 steps. So I think that's really awesome. You mentioned you're finding your exercise anyway, but for him to set his goal and hit it, which is awesome. So hopefully it keeps going and could even crack on that 200. We'll see.
I think that is just amazing. And I know, having tried before, getting 10,000 steps a day isn't easy for a start, but to do 100 days in a row is just amazing. And Kelly, walking's a great way of exercising, isn't it?
I think it's one of the best ways, because it really is for everybody. As you know, I've got 4 kids, and one of the things that we like to do together is actually go out for a walk. Actually, I'll rephrase that. They don't often want to go for a walk, but I make them come out and let's all just go for a walk. And we end up just having a really great time. But so a great form of exercise, which is obviously free. All you really need is a pair of shoes. And I think it's just one of the best ways to get out, get some fresh air, lift the heart rate a little bit. And, I think if you don't already do it, get out and do it. It doesn't have to be a 10,000 steps like Nath. It might be just a small walk around your block to begin with, just small little bite-sized chunks to start with. And, before you know it, you'll be doing 100 days as well, maybe. But yeah, so good.
I think what's important, Barry, as well is, I don't know about everyone here, but I've found myself from working from home that I'm sitting down a lot more. Whether or not that's because, you're not trying to leave your desk for a break, and the walks are a lot shorter to get to the kitchen or the bathroom or whatnot. So yeah, I'm finding sitting down a lot more, and by walking we're opening up our hips, again getting our heart rate up, again working on the strength of our lower body muscles, which can be neglected at times. And again, it's all around, the all-round benefits are fantastic for walking, and it's an activity for a lot of people that they can achieve. But for some others, getting outside and enjoying the fresh air is just a byproduct of walking. So whether or not you might not be able to get your steps in, just getting outside and taking that mental break as well is important.
I think it's great advice and walking, and I think we can all do it. It is free. It was a great point that you made, Kelly, that we can just get out. We don't need special equipment to do it. Just get out, move the body, enjoy the fresh air, that's for sure. And some of Wyndham's parks are fantastic, so please use them as well. So the way we're going to finish off these webcasts, every week as we get the Find Your 30 webcast is for questions from people in the community. So if you do have any questions, just drop a line to WynActive and we'll certainly pick it up and we'll answer those. But we've got a question from Jane in Manor Lakes. Okay, now Jane says, right now, kids are at home, homeschooling. She's trying to work 3 days a week while doing the homeschooling. Hubby's at home as well. They're not getting out. She's got to prepare meals, look after kids, school them, etc. At the end of the day, she's exhausted. She wants to know, and it's a really good question because I think we've all been there, how do you find the time and the energy to exercise?
I'm going to jump on that one if you don't mind. I feel you, Jane. Oh my gosh, this is my life, I will just say. I think first and foremost, it needs to be a priority. So all the children have a timetable or they have scheduled so reading in the morning, writing in the afternoon or whatever it is. So what we do is we schedule in a block, and it might be lunchtime, where it may be that I think they've got 45 minutes usually for their lunch block. So we'll do like a 15-minute eat your lunch, and then we're all outside and we're going for a half an hour walk. So that's a really simple way that we incorporate activity for the kids to get them out. By lunchtime, they're done. Like they need to get outside and have some fresh air. But not only that, I'm also incorporating a walk myself. So I think, number one, prioritize it into their timetable, not your timetable, into their schoolwork. And obviously in your work day or your husband's work day, you're supposed to have a half an hour break or a lunch break or whatever. That also should be where you prioritize it. I was going to say, otherwise, maybe get them to get up early. Sometimes my children wake up really, really early, and sometimes we get them to do some activity first thing in the morning before they've even started exercise, which is something that you could perhaps incorporate into your routine. But definitely lunchtime, even if it's just a quick walk, if you've got bikes, go for a quick bike ride. And you'll notice that the days that we don't do that with the kids, I can tell the difference after lunch in terms of their concentration. They need to get out, they need to move. They come back and it's a completely different story with regard to their work and stuff in the afternoon. So I hope that helps, Jane.
I feel like it's always the case where you start exercise, it always feels tough, but I don't think anyone ever regrets exercise. They start moving and by the end it's like, oh, okay, I feel great, I feel relieved. If you're restless, if you had a hard day at work, I feel like it's just that reliever. And I think you kind of touched on it, Cal. It's finding those times to do it. Everyone sort of thinks, I need that hour or two to do my exercise and I need to have that time, but I got to cook dinner or do whatever it is. So I'd say for Jane, just find those opportunities across the day. It might be a 5-minute walk at lunchtime, like Cal said. It might have 5-10 minutes to stretch in front of the TV when you're relaxing at night. And the next day you go, yep, I'm going to get up early and do some, body weight strength in the morning. So finding those opportunities is my sort of tip as well there.
Two things, Barry. I think they're great answers, and I could certainly take them on board. One, Jane, sign up to Find Your 30 challenges because you're going to get all the information there for the whole family, so you can join in together. But two, I read about this a couple of weeks ago. It's a term called exercise snacking. So thinking about exercise as really, really small little bits of time. So think about whether it's 20 seconds or 30 seconds. So I think we had Camilla on a few weeks back, and she was a mother and talking about, well, she's heating up food in the microwave. She might be doing some star jumps or some squats. Right. You might be waiting for the kettle to boil or something, and that's your trigger to do a few things. So potentially even grabbing like a notepad, writing down a few things and putting them around the house. And once you go past a certain point in time, you say, all right, every time I do this, I've got to do 30 seconds of exercise before I, whether or not go to the toilet or whatever it may be, your daily activities, but exercise snacking.
The kids would love that too, that little Post-it note thing. They would love that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like that.
Hey, look, guys, thank you very much for today. Jane, I really hope that helped you and helping you to find some activity. We know it's not hard. We've all been there, done that, and yeah, we wish you the very, very best with it. Lockie, Kelly, James, thanks very much for today. First Find Your 30 webcast. How did you find it?
Oh, awesome. Good to be here.
Looking forward to the weeks ahead.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining us. Find Your 30 challenge. Get on board. It's a lot of fun, and we know that it's healthy, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. Enjoy it. Get the whole family involved. Get your friends involved. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now. Take care of yourself.